Hey, well, we are here literally on the floor of the 2024 Hard Rock Summit, and it's still set up. And I'm actually in front of a case that you are going to want to see because it is done by this lovely young lady, Tama Higuchi. Good to see you, Gooch.
Great to see you as always.
How you doing?
Amazing. Now that I'm here on the floor, resting my feet, feeling much better down here.
Well, it has been a long day. Tama has been working hard setting up the booth over at Heritage Auctions, and now she's setting up her own personal booth or display. And this is the first time you've done a display on your own?
It's my first solo case ever.
Yikes! And so it's a combination of her thumbnail collection and paintings of the thumbnail collection.
That's right.
So why don't we get up and take a closer look at the pieces that you've brought and you've painted.
Let's get on up.
Cool. All right, Tama, show us, tell us,
Where to
give us
start?
this. Well, let's start up here,
Absolutely.
upper left, and then we'll move along.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
So this specimen up here is a Brazilianite on albite. And I bought this specimen the first time I visited Alex Amiel, actually. And this piece, I think, is pretty special just because the aesthetics. The albite is like this amazing little triangle shape. And on top of that, you have a little peace sign of Brazilianite, and then at the very end, you have a little piece of some kind of muscovite on top. So the aesthetics really lend itself very well to a piece of art, so I painted that as soon as I got it.
I love this. Tell us about the painting. How long did it take you to do this?
Oh, it depends. So this is actually something I painted twice before. I was so unhappy with the first one. So this painting, I want to say, took maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
Usually in this size range, that's about how long it takes, although I rarely do it in one sitting. So this one, I wouldn't say was the most difficult in this case, but it's up there.
Okay.
right.
Super.
Next up is, of course, Wolframite, which everybody loves. And the cool thing about this one is it has almost a pseudo-cubic crystal structure. It's so fat and chunky. And, of course, it's a really nice,
Look at that.
well-rounded thumbnail. Super cool. Great color. And on the matrix, we think some kind of disclosite or Benitoite or some random stuff, whatever comes out of Los Lamentos. And I would actually say this is the most difficult painting I've done in this case, just because the texture and everything going on in the crystal there, it's actually pretty complex. And of course, the stippling that's done in the matrix takes a very long time, as always.
Superb.
Let's see.
And when did you paint that?
This one, I think just last year.
Okay.
Just last year.
Awesome.
Up next is a species that usually doesn't show up in my collection. I'm not actually a big Tourmaline fan, but this one I thought was really cool because...
And we don't hold that against you personally.
I think a lot of people would agree with me. But this one's very cool because, and you can see this better in the painting actually, the termination of the crystal is, it has like this dark phantom inside. So there's this darkness in the center. And then on the edge, it suddenly turns pink. Mm-hmm. And this is why I love painting thumbnails so much, is because it gives an opportunity to see all the detail in something that's usually pretty small. So in this specimen, sometimes it's a little hard to see the phantom, but in the painting, you can see it. Oh, well, it's showing up on you.
Of course, yeah. Like once I put it on camera, it's like, oh yeah, well, no, we can see everything.
Well, you're good at finding the right angles. How about that?
So Madagascar piece, fantastic.
Absolutely.
Okay. What's next? Are we? Yeah.
So, Anglicite from Morocco specifically is something I've been wanting for a long time. And just last Tucson, I found one. So this guy has incredible, deep, bright yellow color. I mean, it's a bit ridiculous, honestly. So, of course, I had to do that as well. And this painting I really, really like because I painted at the right angle where you could catch highlights in some of the smaller faces. And what that does is it creates a nice contrast between the different faces. It kind of shows the morphology of the crystal. And that little sidecar on the side is very, very nice.
You
Great
love those sidecars.
I sure do.
Right on. Okay.
Cool. So next up actually might be my favorite specimen in the collection.
Nice.
Now,
State gemstone for the state of California.
that's right. And actually, even though, of course, benitoite is the most important part of the specimen, but the neptunite is actually my favorite mineral, so much so that I have quite a few in my collection. And this is really special because everything is complete. The benitoite's complete. The neptunite is terminated at the bottom. It's just perfect. So obviously, with mineral art being, I guess, an expression of my appreciation for the aesthetics of minerals, I had to do this one, obviously. So there's the painting and the rock.
Superb.
Thank
Okay.
you. This one's fun. This is cool.
Well, this is kind of interesting because you have more than just a mineral here.
That's right.
Show us.
So when I was in Munich, I finally found a bunch of these wooden crystal models.
And this was last year, so it was your first time to Munich.
My very first time in Munich.
There you go.
I hunted these down, these old crystal models. This one's from the late 1800s or early 1900s. And of course, I had to pair it with a rhodochrosite because it's a clinahedron, right? So I have my Enchanting Mine Rhodo, one of the earliest expensive rocks, if you will, that I got. And of course, I thought that was a nice thing to pair with that beautiful wooden model.
That's great. I love that.
You.
And last but not least, good old American favorite.
Absolutely. We are in Colorado, so we might as well show Colorado rock, right? So, of course, Amazonite and smoky quartz, everyone's favorite combination. This one was difficult because the color in this crystal is really intense.
You did a really good job of matching the colors.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's spot on. Spot on, really.
And then
it's coming up a little bit more blue in the camera.
it is.
But to my eye, these are just spot on, proper color, fantastic.
Thank you very much. It's hard to find these combinations in this size range.
Yeah.
So when they discovered the mini pocket just last year, I had to snap one up.
Fantastic. And so now, Tama, are these paintings available for sale, or are these paintings part of your private collection?
I think this is staying in the personal collection.
Okay, so if you ever deacquisition a specimen, it comes with the painting, I would imagine.
Question. I would say 99% of the time it does. Every once in a while, I'll do a painting that I'm just so attached to, I can't get rid of it. But for the most part, if I'm selling a rock out of my collection and I painted it, it just makes sense for that to stay with the mineral. So oftentimes it'll go with the rock.
Awesome. And I hope you're not offended by me pointing this out, because it's the first time I've ever seen this.
Yes. So, like I said, Neptunite is my favorite mineral. So I got the Neptunite crystal from the Goldschmidt crystallography book, tattooed. But of course, this was published before they found the ones in California, right? So this habit is actually different from what you'll find in California. I can't remember what this was referenced from, but it's Neptunite, and nobody can guess it because no one thinks that an artist would like a ugly black rock.
Right.
It's my favorite.
But that's the gooch.
Favorite.
Just when you think you figured her out, she veers left.
That's right.
All right. Tama, thank you so much.
So much. Enjoy the show and have fun.
Awesome.